Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am reviewing Season 1 for Gabriel DropOut. Now Gabriel DropOut is a comedy slash slice of life slash supernatural anime that does an excellent job at all of these categories. The show follows the hilarious adventures of two demon and two angel high schoolers on their wacky circus. The show feels somewhat unique, as there is not one main protagonist who hogs all the attention. Instead, there are four main protagonists. Although Gabriel is inevitably the most important, the other three still get plenty of focus as well. The characters have a nice mix of personalities, which helps make the show more lively and interesting. So looking at the characters, Gabriel gets more focus than anyone else. This largely has to do with Gabriel being tied with the main plot of the show more than the other characters. Gabriel in this show has a split personality that is a major focus of the show. In the past, old Gabriel is a perfect angel. She is sweet, friendly, caring, compassionate, optimistic, positive, helpful, hardworking, organized, has an extremely high self-esteem, and is totally motivated to... well, I'll let her say it. New Gabriel, on the other hand, is self-centered, lazy, rude, obnoxious, one who mooches favors off of others instead of doing favors for others, dishonest, disorganized, and is a total slob. To put it in her own words...
いい？私は天界には帰らない。人間界でずっとこの生活を続けていく。はあ？こっちの娯楽に触れて気づいたんだ。天界にいた頃の優等生な私は偽りだった。自分を押し殺していただけで、本当の私は怠惰でぐうたらな。そう！救いようのない堕天使だったことにね！
Next, there's Vinette. Vinette is quite smart, hardworking, caring, and organized. She's generally quite cheery and optimistic, but she does have a temper that sometimes shows itself. Although she's technically a demon, she acts much more like an angel than a demon in the show.
でもさ、ビーネは自分が悪魔らしくないって自覚ないでしょ。いや、そんな顔されても。どの辺が真面目で世話好きで。困ってる人がいたらほっとけないところとか全然そんなことあるかもすっごいある悪魔らしくってどうすればいいと思うそれ天使に聞く
Then there's Satania, who's the butt of many jokes in this show. She's a demon who thinks of herself as being totally wicked and evil, but really isn't. She's also very stupid, has a ridiculous ego, and is easily manipulated.
あなた悪魔ですよね。
ちょっと何を言ってるのかわからないわね。私は天使よ。この輪っかが見えるでしょ。
針金と角も見えてますよ。
安心しなさい。決して天界を偵察して私の優秀さを魔界に知らしめようと考えている悪魔なんかじゃ。何がしたいんだあいつは。
Finally, there's Raphael. Raphael is an angel who at first glance appears very angelic and pure, but once you get to know her, you find out she has a dark side to her personality. She absolutely loves pranking and stalking Satania.
よかったらご一緒しませんかうわ何が目的はいあんたがこういうことするときは何か企んでるときよそんなひどいですよ天使たるもの困ってる方を助けるのは当然のことですよ全然説得力ないんだけど
Together, these unique personalities make for a very strong combination. The show does an excellent job playing to the strengths of the characters during their interactions, both with each other and with supporting characters. The show also does an excellent job with character development. The characters' personalities are presented and developed in ways that are fun and engaging and add to the show rather than being boring. In addition to the four main characters, there are plenty of fun supporting characters with unique personalities who get thrown into the mix. These supporting characters end up playing a major role in the show, and the show spends a surprisingly large amount of effort on making these characters well developed so you know where they are coming from and why they interact with the main characters in the ways they do. As for the show's plot, the show does not mainly focus too much in each episode on going forward with the main plot of a series. Instead, the show often has short, miniature plots that become the main focus of each episode. The miniature plots that occur are well done, interesting, quite enjoyable, and very humorous. The show does an excellent job squeezing in lots of good material into a single episode. Meanwhile, the show slowly makes progress for the main storyline of the season without getting too bogged down and focusing too heavily on progressing the story. The main plot of a show definitely helps to shape many of the episodes, as these episodes both progress and to an extent rely upon how this plot has progressed. The main story arc really comes through toward the end, but it does not dominate the show during the middle section of it. The plot is not totally perfect, as there are a few parts of the show, such as some character decisions that do not really seem to make sense, but this is a minor flaw in what is generally a very well done structure. One thing that seems a bit lacking in this show is the villain. The show does not really seem to have much of a villain or an antagonist except for at the end of a season. Really though, the show manages to make it work without a villain, and looking back at the show, I realize that not having a villain until the end does not really hinder the show. Instead, the show does not really need a villain for much of it, given there is plenty of good material to go around throughout the show. When the villain does finally show up though, toward the end, it helps make for a more exciting finale to the season, while also helping up to tie up the loose ends and culminate the plot the show slowly builds up and have it come crashing down. Not only is the confrontation between the heroes and the villain exciting, it also plays into the show's comedic focus by making the showdown fun and hilarious. Normally, I like it better if a villain has lots of build-up in the media, but in this case, it actually works out better having the villain just show up out of nowhere. This is because it adds to the show's humor having a villain come out of the woodwork, and it also allows for the more carefree attitude we see throughout much of the show before catching the protagonists off guard.
ジレール姉さんは昔から堅物で真面目で厳しくてな。はあ、いかにもな天使ね。もし私が打点なんてしてることを知られたらお仕置きを受けてしまう。そうなったらその影響で人間界滅ぶかも。また大げさなんだからねえラフィー。黙ってないで否定して。
Given this is a comedy show, clearly the humor is important to determining how good of a show it is. I will say the show nails the humor very nicely. Throughout the show, there are tons of very funny moments. This humor does not just have a repeated formula. Instead, the show does an excellent job coming up with new jokes and funny story arcs as it goes on. Much of the humor is also difficult to predict, and does a nice job of surprising you. The show also does not take itself too seriously, but it does take itself seriously enough to generally seem logical and realistic. In addition to the obvious humor, there are also some hidden bits of humor and Easter eggs that are harder to catch. In some cases, it took me watching an episode multiple times to finally catch some of the hidden and not so obvious jokes in there. Some parts of the show are definitely funnier than others, but even the scenes that are not the funniest in the show would still be considered very funny by the standard of other shows. It really goes to show just how humorous the funniest parts of this show are, when other parts seem disappointing by comparison, even though they are quite funny in their own right. Though this is a comedy show, that does not mean the show is constant laughter. There are some serious moments sprinkled in the show as well. Many such moments are emotional and sometimes even sad. Still, this actually adds to the show by adding some seriousness, makes you feel more emotionally invested, and helps to put the characters' emotions and feelings on display. Despite this, the characters usually are not shown as getting too emotional. This is probably one area that could have been done a bit better, as it would have made the viewer more emotionally invested if the characters showed having emotions on a deeper level. In addition to the well-done main parts of the show, another part that was extremely well done is the music and themes. There are very predominant themes of friendship in the show, as well as a message that you do not need to be perfect around the clock to be able to help others and make a positive impact. The intro music and graphics are very catchy and enjoyable. It also ties very well into the main narratives of the show, as it sounds very calming and soothing in some parts, but chaotic and wild in others. It really does a nice job setting the mood for the show. Even though I have seen the intro many times, I still get excited when I see it again. The intro was so well done, I actually recorded the music and now have it on my phone as an alarm to wake me up in the morning. The other music is also well done in the show. The show actually has several musical themes it plays depending on the situation to help set the mood, and these tunes are often recurring, which helps add to the show's emotional attachment and emotions in general. This is especially true with the old Gabriel theme that plays recurringly.
ました先生。
正解だ。よくできた。
これも先生のご指導の賜物です。どうしました？
いや、席に戻りなさい。
はい。
Overall, I give this show 5 out of 5 stars, thanks mainly to its incredibly well done humor, superb character development, and outstanding character interactions. The many parts of the show gel together very nicely in a way that just works. Although the show is not completely perfect, the positives of the show are so well done that they more than make up for the few minor drawbacks and blemishes in the show. If you are into comedy animes, this is definitely one to check out. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.